How we doing?
Any sense, Baker, just how much you guys retained over the offseason with Liam's offense, how are guys adjusting to that after a couple days of
Yeah, we information-wise, I think the guys definitely retained a lot. Normally, the first couple of days, there's quite a few mental errors or missed assignments, and there's still a little bit of that. But for the most part, didn't take steps back, and that's the important thing. Is that we kept going forward. We made the foundation of the system in the spring, and guys carried that over. So now it's time to just continue to improve on the details and continue to communicate and get on the same page.
Baker, it feels like everybody, especially on offense, is just playing loose out there. People are having fun. Is that just based off of confidence and trust that you guys have in each other, or the offense, or what do you think it is?
It's definitely a lot of it has to do with the chemistry that we had last year. Just understanding who each of us are as people, not just players, and we enjoy playing for each other, and that has a lot to do with it. But also, we got on the same page in the spring, like I just mentioned. So we're having fun, but this is a group that we know how. We know when to enjoy it. We know when to turn it on, and it's really serious. But when you're having success, it's a lot more fun. And when you're with a group that you want to play for, it's definitely a lot more fun. So for us, just keep enjoying it during some of these long days. Obviously, it's early in camp, but during some of these long days in camp, it's going to get hard. Continue to lean on each other and support each other, and you got to enjoy it.
What do you think is the number one thing to make this offense better? Is it the run game this year? What do you think?
Just more consistent. I think, there were some games we ran the ball well last year. There were some games we didn't throw it well. It's just the consistency. Like you look at, we started out 3-1, and then went 6 of 7, or lost 6 of 7 in the middle of the year. So just more consistency. So for us as an offense, being more consistent overall, I have the utmost faith in our defense, the guys that we have, and Todd calling that and leading those guys. So for us, just being more consistently putting a show out there and putting points on the board, and it's just everything. Being more detailed in the run game, being more detailed in the pass game, screen game, everything. So offense goes to the next level when everybody's on the same page, and we just do it consistently.
But something he said yesterday really stood out. He said, my goal for this training camp is to make Baker trust me. It seems like that's already happening. I mean, I want to say like the first team period you guys had, I want to say he was the first target. Just how's that relationship coming along and that trust building? Yeah.
Quarterbacks and receivers, the more reps you get, the more you trust them, the more you see their body language coming in and out of cuts and understanding how they're moving around. And he's going to make plays when the ball's in the air, and that's one thing that I'm continuing to learn is really just give him a chance. He might not be the biggest guy, but he's going to go up and high point the ball, and that's a natural skill that he has. And so my trust is going to continue to grow as long as he keeps doing the right things, and he is. So I think he's got the right attitude. He brings a lot of juice to that room. I think him and Sterling, a couple little mighty mouses running out there screaming at people, talking trash, and so it brings energy when you look at Chris and Mike are pros. Like they've been doing it for so long at such a high level that sometimes it's hard for them to get excited over a touchdown. So especially in practice. So it's good to see Jalen and those guys bring juice to it. And so for Jalen to enjoy football, bring a little pep to it, and just continue to get better and work on his craft is very important.
Mighty Mouses and trash talkers, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear their answers.
I was going to say, where do you think they get that from, huh?
I don't know.
Sterling, what's your impression of the two quarterbacks battling behind you? It looks like a competition.
Yeah. Obviously, I went through this with Kyle last year, and Kyle can make every single throw you want as an NFL quarterback, and so obviously another new system for him again to learn and try and get down. Obviously, John and I had a little bit of a head start, and John more so. He had years of experience in this thing, and terminology-wise, and knowing what the system is, the alerts, the cans, and all that, everything that comes with it. So, every single room should have competition going on. And we're competing against each other when it comes down to completions in practice, doing the right reads, getting graded during that. So it goes with everything. So for those guys, but you want to try and be your best self every day and continue to improve, and that's what training camp's for.
Baker, you, Kay, Tristan, all becoming new fathers in the office. There's some sort of daddy daycare group club, group text going on.
Must be something in the water out here. I don't know what it is, man. But it's just awesome. I feel like there's more than just us three throughout the building that are having new kids. So it's it's great to see. You see life-changing moments, and then it makes you appreciate the moments that you're in the building a lot more with these guys. You're able to talk about the struggles and figuring out this thing as we go with each other. And so it's another fun thing that I don't think anybody has it figured out, but we're going through it together.
What's like the scariest thing though, like lining up against some of these crazy like defensive fronts, or being sent home with the baby and there's no instruction manual at all?
It's definitely the baby. Had a lot of reps going against some people that are twice my size, and should know when to get the ball out and what to do. Now with a child, it's a little different.
Do you feel like you've had a good first few days of camp? Just the way you evaluate yourself?
Yeah, I'd say yes, based on the operation. Today was probably the worst as in terms of completions in the pass game with quarterbacks and receivers. But there was some good. It was just the most up and down day we had. I'd say that. So, and especially for me. So, but yeah, good so far. And you're going to have those days where the completions aren't happening. But as long as I'm making the right reads, making the right calls, and doing those things, that's what this camp's all about, is ensuring that we're on the same page on offense, and then the physical stuff will come.
How have you seen Cody grow from year 1 to year 2?
Obviously, he did he had a big off season in terms of trying to gain weight and get muscled up, and that's something he took upon himself. And so you've seen him grow in the physical aspect in terms of taking care of his body, getting ready for the year, and just he's definitely not as uptight anymore. You can see him a little bit more loose, and that O-line room is so close, and those guys have so much fun together. And now Cody's kind of in the mix of it. He's still not the loudest guy by any means, but he's in the mix with those guys now.
Yeah, talking to go back to year Baker, everything's new. You're getting to know people, you're competing. So much has changed in this year. Where does it help you the most to be comfortable where you are now with everything around you?
I'd say the biggest thing would be the communication part and understanding. So understanding with the routes and the receivers, how they're going to come out of it, the timing of that, and then the communication with the guys up front. I'd say, some of the terminology is different, but understanding what we're trying to get done, to be able to do it quick and to make adjustments on the fly, that's the biggest benefit and advantage I have going into year 2 with these guys, having chemistry. It's like, okay, when I see this look, this is what I'm trying to get to, trying to run this route this way, this certain way, and so we're just on the same page and things happen quicker.
We were talking to Chris Godwin yesterday, and he mentioned during those call-up periods of play down, you get a bit of a game feel of, substitutions are coming in, formations, calls, and fly.
Mm-hmm.
How valuable is that for you when you guys are working on learning this offense?
The call-up periods are so vital because the scripted stuff, you get some of the young guys that, obviously you need to study the script, what's coming the next day at practice, but you see what's in what order, what plays are canned with what. It's so different when it comes to a game. Like, yes, you know the game plan, but you don't know what play call's coming next. So to be able to see the play calls come in, how guys react, how quickly they get lined up, and understand and know what they're doing and get it executed, that's real ball. And so the call-up periods are when, to me, I really start judging guys if they're playing fast and doing their job at a high level. And yesterday, I think our guys did that really, really well.
I'm sure you probably saw Tyreek Hill said you were a top 5 NFL quarterback. Do you have a relationship with him? How did you feel when you saw that? What can you say?
Honestly, no, I don't have a relationship with him. I watched him return a punt for a touchdown to beat Oklahoma in 2014 when I sat out. That's about as close as I got to touching him, maybe ever. He's too quick for me. But no, he's obviously a guy at a high level, so that means a lot when somebody gives you that credit.
You've always played with a chip on your shoulder, but now that you have a long-term home and everything, like how, I guess, does the motivation change? Does the chip still kind of remain there? Because, people maybe don't think you can get beyond a division title. Like, I guess, what kind of motivation do you have now, or where does that come from now?
It's... My NFL career, has it been what I want it to be? No, but it's got me to this point to where I signed a long-term deal. And when I settle in, good things happen. I know how I am. I know how I operate. When I can truly dig my feet in and make a difference in the culture and the people around me and make people better, that's when I'm at my best. And I haven't been in a place for very long without coaching changes in a long time. And, I'd go back to Oklahoma. For 4 years, it was the longest point, and then to Cleveland, but we still had coaching changes in and out pretty much every year. So it's just different. But I have no doubt in my mind.